He trusted her with his only son. But betrayal was already inside his home. Malcolm Price thought the worst was behind him. He believed the nightmare had ended the day he slammed the front door shut on his fiancée and told her never to return. The memory still burned in his mind. His little boy Noah, screaming in pain. His small arm bent at a sickening angle, his leg swollen and broken. Noah was only 8 years old. The doctors had asked questions. They hinted that maybe this wasn't just an accident. Malcolm didn't need their doubts. He already knew the truth. His fiancée had done it. Out of jealousy. Out of cruelty. She had pushed his son. That night, Malcolm had dragged her suitcase across the marble floor, shoved it into the street, and growled through clenched teeth. "I never want to see your face again." Her answer was venomous. She spat that he would regret it. But Malcolm didn't care. His boy was in casts now. One on his arm, one on his leg, but at least she was gone. Still, Malcolm couldn't always be home. His empire demanded boardrooms, flights, and endless calls. He needed someone to care for Noah while he was away. So, he hired a maid, Tandy. Young, smiling, polite, always ready with a soft, "Yes, sir. Don't worry, sir. I'll take good care of him." It seemed like the right decision, but Noah felt different. In his small, honest voice he whispered, "Dad, she stares at me funny. I don't want her here." Malcolm rubbed his forehead, trying to reassure him. "Noah, she's just trying to help. You need someone to cook for you and keep watch until you heal." Malcolm thought he had solved the problem. But what he didn't know was that betrayal had already slipped back into his mansion. The new maid he trusted was already working for the enemy. Sometimes betrayal wears a smile. To Malcolm, Tandy was the perfect hire. Polite, cheerful, always moving quickly to serve. She kept the house spotless, cooked Noah's meals, and never once complained. To everyone else, she looked like a loyal maid. But behind that smile was a secret far darker than anyone guessed. When the lights in the mansion went out and the staff retreated to their quarters, Tandy would slip into the servant's wing with her phone in hand. Her fingers flew across the screen. "He trusts me. Pay is nothing compared to what you offered." The message was sent straight to Malcolm's ex-fiancée. The reply came almost instantly. "Prove he's in danger. Push him. Film it. You'll get double." Tandy stared at the words, her pulse racing. Money. More than she could ever earn in years of service. Enough to erase her debts and buy her freedom. She smiled to herself, the glow of the phone lighting up her face. By day, she poured juice into Noah's cup and smiled when Malcolm passed by. By night, she rehearsed the plan in her mind. Every detail sharp, every step memorized. She knew when the boy sat by the pool. She knew how easy it would be. One push, one scream, a video clip that could destroy a billionaire's name and fortune. Her mission? Push Noah into the pool. And film it. The perfect crime was only one push away. The sun glittered on the surface of the pool, but Noah's eyes were wide with dread. He sat stiffly in his chair, his casted arm heavy against his lap, his legs stretched awkwardly in front of him. "I don't want to be here," he whispered. "Please, can we go inside?" Tandy crouched beside him, her smile sharp, her tone sugar-coated with poison. "Don't be silly, Noah. The sun is good for you. Fresh air helps you heal." But her hand lingered too long on his shoulder, her eyes narrowing as she shifted her phone into position. Noah flinched, clutching the armrest. "Dad wouldn't make me do this," he said softly, his voice shaking. Tandy's expression darkened. She leaned closer, her voice a hiss only he could hear. "Your dad isn't here. And what I say, you do." The boy's chest rose and fell, his breath quickening. He tried to move his chair back, but his leg throbbed with pain. His casts made him clumsy, helpless. Tandy's grip tightened, her phone angled perfectly toward the pool. Just one shove, and the camera would capture everything. The splash, the panic, the proof of negligence. Her lips curled into a smile. "One little push," she whispered. But in her eagerness, in her greed, Tandy didn't notice. Someone else was watching. Fate has strange timing. The heavy gates creaked open as Malcolm Price stepped out of his car, his shoes crunching against the gravel. He hadn't called ahead. He wanted to surprise his son, to be there without warning. For once, work could wait. Today, Noah came first, but as he crossed the courtyard, his heart stopped. There, by the pool, Noah was struggling, his small hands clutching the chair, his body tipping dangerously close to the water. And behind him, Tandy shoving, laughing under her breath. "Noah!" Malcolm's roar shattered the quiet. The boy's scream pierced the air. "Dad!" His casted arm flailed, his chair legs scraping against the tiles. Malcolm lunged, his polished shoes slipping on the wet stone. But he didn't stop. In one swift motion, he grabbed Noah's good arm, yanking him away just before the chair toppled. The splash of the empty seat hitting the water echoed through the courtyard like a gunshot. Noah clung to him, trembling, his chest heaving. She tried to. "I know," Malcolm cut in, his voice low and burning. His glare locked on Tandy, who stood frozen, her smile gone, her phone still clutched in her hand. And that's when Malcolm saw it, red light blinking. The phone had been recording the entire time. When greed speaks, it spills every secret. Tandy's face had gone pale, her hands trembling as the guards closed in. The staff muttered angrily, some ready to drag her off themselves, but Malcolm's voice cut through the chaos like steel. "Speak! Now!" Her mask cracked. "I needed the money," she blurted, tears streaming but voice shaking with defiance. "She promised me more than I could ever earn scrubbing floors here. All I had to do was push him, make it look like an accident." Gasps rippled through the staff. Noah shrank against his father's side, his eyes wide. Malcolm's jaw clenched. "She? Who is she?" Tandy's lips quivered. "Your ex, she said you ruined her, that she'd ruin you back. She told me if I helped her, she'd make me rich. She swore you'd never suspect me." The guards seized her wrists, but in her struggle, her apron tore. A bundle of jewelry spilled across the stone floor. Rings, earrings, a bracelet Malcolm recognized instantly. His late wife's bracelet. A cold silence fell. The staff stared at the stolen treasures, disgust etched into their faces. Malcolm's voice thundered. "Not only did you betray my son, you robbed the dead. You sold your soul for trinkets and blood money." Tandy wept, but Malcolm didn't flinch. His words were final. "Justice begins today, and it begins with you." But Malcolm wasn't done. Justice had only begun. There's no escaping when the gates are locked. Malcolm's command rang out like thunder. "Seal the gates. No one enters, no one leaves." At once, the iron gates clanged shut at the far end of the garden. Guards surrounded Tandy, holding her firm as she kicked and screamed. The staff huddled back, their whispers buzzing like angry bees. Every eye on the woman who had worn kindness like a mask. Malcolm didn't raise his voice again. He didn't need to. He crouched beside Noah, steadying him in the chair. "You're safe now, son. Nothing will touch you again." Noah nodded weakly, clutching his father's sleeve, his eyes never leaving the maid who had once smiled at him like a friend. Malcolm rose and faced the guards. "Bring me her phone." One snatched it from Tandy's trembling hand. The screen flickered, the recording still running. Undeniable proof of betrayal. Gasps swept through the crowd as Malcolm turned the phone for all to see. "This is what she planned for my boy. This is the truth." Moments later, sirens wailed in the distance. Police cars rolled up to the gates, red and blue lights flashing against the stone walls. Officers stepped out, taking custody of Tandy as Malcolm personally handed over the phone and the stolen jewelry. "Check her messages," Malcolm ordered, his tone leaving no room for doubt. "You'll find the trail leading to the one who hired her." The officer gave a short nod, but then hesitated. His gaze shifted to the phone, to the damning video. "Mr. Price, if this footage leaks, it won't just expose her. It could drag your name into scandal. Your enemies will use it against you." Malcolm's expression hardened. The weight of his reputation hung in the air, heavy as the silence that followed. A billionaire's name or his son's life? What matters more? Malcolm didn't hesitate. His jaw tightened as he faced the officer. "Let it leak. Let the whole world see. My fortune, my reputation. None of it matters compared to my son's safety. I'd rather be judged by men than bury my child." The words silenced the courtyard. Even the staff, who had served him for years, felt a shift. This wasn't just their employer speaking. It was a father standing unshaken in the face of betrayal. The officers nodded, respect flashing in their eyes. Tandy, still thrashing, was dragged toward the gates, her protest swallowed by the wail of sirens. The heavy iron doors slammed shut behind the convoy, sealing her fate. For a heartbeat, the mansion stood still. Then slowly, the staff broke into applause. Not for spectacle, but for truth, for loyalty, for the man who had chosen love over pride. Malcolm knelt before Noah, his drenched suit clinging to him, his voice trembling with both fury and tenderness. "You hear me, son? It's over. No one will hurt you again. Not while I breathe." Noah's small hand gripped his father's. His tired eyes brimmed with tears, but for the first time, they held relief. "Dad, you came back. You saw it." Malcolm pulled him close, pressing a kiss to his hair. "And from now on, I'll always see. Nobody," his voice sharpened, echoing through the courtyard. "Nobody comes between us." The mansion, once echoing with lies and danger, exhaled into silence. But this time, it was a silence of peace, a promise sealed between a father and his son.